So, considering the age group of the audience today, I don't think I need to explain where babies come from, or in other words, how to conceive naturally. But I can assure you that trying to conceive in the lab can be very complicated. I conducted my research in a fertility clinic where we help couples with in vitro fertilization, abbreviated as IVF, or we call it bayi tabung in Indonesia. And my research focuses on optimizing the quality of the sperm that will fertilize the egg. Now you might be wondering, well, I spent 3 years of my life trying to figure out what is the best for the sperm. Well, I would say because there is a high demand and need for it. 1 in 6 Australian couples have fertility problems. 50% comes from male factors and the other 50% from female factors. And when we talk about the male factors, it all comes down to the quality of the sperm. Now I want you to think about a classroom where there is a mixture of good and not so good students. So the good students will have a better chance of graduating and becoming a good doctors, whereas the not so good students will either not make it at all or they will become a not so good doctor. Now similarly, in a semen sample, there is a mixture of good, bad, and dead sperm. So the bad sperm will have a lower chance of fertilizing an egg, but when it happens, it can affect the quality of the embryo and eventually the health of the baby. So back in the days, we used to think that good sperm is the one with one head, one tail, and the one that can swim. But now we learn that the quality of the sperm also lies within something that we simply cannot see, the DNA. In fact, poor DNA quality can also cause pregnancy loss, birth defect, and childhood cancer. So the challenge for us is to separate or differentiate the good from the bad, and then to choose only the good ones to be used for IVF. And this is where my PhD fits in. I looked at different ways of selecting good quality sperm, and I compared their efficacy, cost, and practicality. And our result shows that while this method is pretty effective in choosing the one or the sperm that looks good from the outside, some of these methods are not so good in choosing the one with good quality DNA that we cannot see. And to finish my story, I also looked at how does this DNA damage will then be used to predict clinical outcomes, including pregnancy rate and embryo quality. So that at the end of my study, the findings will not only help fertility clinics to make clinical decisions, but it will also help couples to have a better chance of having a healthy baby through IVF. And finally, a little reminder for myself and for future parents in this room. Even the sperm is the smallest cell in the human body, its quality can determine another human being's health that will be passing to generations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Benedicta Santoso. And let's move on to the finalist number 2 with 3NT title. How do they convert the spaghetti into a number?